Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Hello, Into Tomorrow Techies. I'm Dave Graveline. Thanks for joining us for another ITTV update. Right off the bat, I want to remind you how easy it is to win prizes by participating on our radio show. You can call us anytime with any tech question, maybe some advice for other listeners, or maybe you've run into some technology that doesn't work the way it should and you want to share your tech rage story with us. That's awesome. Call us anytime, 24/7. Our Ask Dave hotline is always open at 1-800-899-INTO. That's 1-800-899-4686. Or you can use our free Into Tomorrow app for your mobile devices and send us an audio question too. We have some other fun ways coming up that you can win prizes for the holidays, so be sure to stay tuned right here and, of course, the weekly radio show. Right now, though, it's time to travel back in tech time. Chris Graveline is here to remind us of the technological achievements of yesterday with his popular This Week in Tech History.
This week in 1851, the telescope was patented by Alvin Clark of Cambridge, Massachusetts. In 1939, the first air-conditioned automobiles went on display at the Auto Show in Chicago, Illinois. In 1980 this week, the NASA space probe Voyager 1 made its closest approach to Saturn and took the first images of its rings. In 1990, computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee published a formal proposal for the World Wide Web. And this week in 1997, WorldCom and MCI Communications announced their $37 billion merger to form MCI WorldCom, at the time making it the largest corporate merger of U.S. history. That's our look back at This Week in Tech History, brought to you by IFA Berlin, the global innovation show for consumer electronics and home appliances. Get more info at ifa-berlin.com. Make sure you get social with us anytime. Stop by our official Facebook page, fb.com/intotomorrow. Then check out our official Twitter feed, @ITRadioShow. We love it when you get social with us.
Oh, and another way to stay up to date with everything happening with Into Tomorrow is by subscribing to our free once-a-week tech newsletter. Just stop by our website at intotomorrow.com and look for the red box. Enter your email address. Then click the link in the confirmation email that you'll receive. You'll then have us in your inbox once a week. It's that easy, and we never spam you or share your email address with anyone. You know, no matter where you live, you need to be aware of natural disasters that can happen at any time. It's probably a good idea to have an emergency kit with some essentials that you may need. This should include your electronic devices too. But how do you charge them if you don't have electricity available? Well, Chris took a look at some solar devices recently that promise to help keep your devices juiced.
Being that our studios are based in Miami, luckily the only natural disaster we really have to worry about is hurricanes. But we still need to have an emergency kit. My family has ours, and we make sure it's restocked at the beginning of each hurricane season. Of course, no matter where you live in the country, there's always the threat of one natural disaster or another, so it's always a good idea to have some sort of emergency kit. One problem that we might face is the lack of power. You can keep some batteries on hand, but what happens when those run out? We were introduced to one company's line of products recently and feel their products and others like theirs could be very helpful to keep on hand, not just for emergencies, but maybe even for everyday use. Solarrific has a line of solar and hand crank powered products, and we decided to take a look at them recently. We'll start off with the Dynamo and Solar Waterproof LED flashlight. As the name implies, this flashlight has a solar panel on it that when left in the sun will charge its internal batteries. There are 3 different lighting modes: 1 LED, 3 LED, or flashing. They say that with an 8-hour solar charge you can get at least 4 hours of flashlight use. And if you don't have access to sunlight, or if the battery runs out in the dark, you could always have the hand crank option to charge the battery. They say that a 1-minute crank will give you 60 to 80 minutes of flashlight use. You can pick one of these up online for about 25 bucks. Next up is the Radio Cube. This tiny little AM/FM weatherband radio is also solar powered and has the nifty hand crank. I like this not only for my emergency kits so that I can tune into the local stations for all the necessary information I need, but to also keep in my beach bag. I like listening to the radio while hanging out at the beach or by the pool, and this allows me to do that without worrying about bringing extra batteries. This one takes a bit longer to fully charge in the sun. They say about 35 to 40 hours, but it should give you a full 7 hours of radio on that charge. Of course, if the solar charge fades, it also has that hand crank to give you that extra boost. It sells normally for about 30 bucks, but as of the time that we're recording this video, they have it on sale on their site for about 14 bucks. The other product that I thought was pretty neat was the solar backpack panel. You can attach this panel to a backpack, or it has a built-in stand. It gives you a USB port for charging your mobile devices. They've got a 1.2 watt model available, as well as a 5 watt model that'll charge your devices quite a bit faster. It doesn't give you the power you need to charge tablets, but they say you can use these to charge MP3 players, digital cameras, GPS units, and some cell phones. Much to my chagrin, their site says that it will not charge iPods and iPhones due to protection on those devices. I'm not really sure what that means. It also won't work on Blackberries, but I guess if you have an Android smartphone, you'll be okay. The 1.2 watt solar panel sells for about 40 bucks, and the 5 watt version goes for about 80. While I was pretty bummed that the panel won't work for my iPhone, the flashlight and radio are part of my emergency kit, and I see them coming in very handy if I should need them. If you have one of those emergency kits put together, let us know what technology you've included. Comment below or call us anytime on the Ask Dave hotline and let us know. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks, Chris. Well, that'll do it for this edition of ITTV. Stay tuned next week as we bring you highlights from the CES Unveiled press event in New York City. We'll talk about what we can expect to see at the big Consumer Electronics Show in January, where, by the way, we launch our 19th year, and what cool gadgets will be out in time for the holidays this year. Tune into ITTV next week to see the highlight video from that event. And of course, check out and participate on our 3-hour radio program to hear all the interviews with many of the exhibitors at Unveiled. Get more info on our site anytime, intotomorrow.com. We'll see you right here next week.